Hey Estes, it's me, Joelle Lee, and I'm coming to you today in regards to this client and what has happened. I have received several messages in my DM. I am receiving them in my groups. I've received emails, people wanting to know what I think of what happened and also what I would actually do in this situation. So I'm happy to tell you all of my suggestions today. And I also first want to speak to the client who this actually happened to. I am so sorry this has happened. I was completely heartbroken when I saw the video and I saw the photos. I'm trying to figure out who you are. I'm not on TikTok. I'm only getting shares from other people. So I would love to help you if you are watching this video, or if someone who knows the person that this happened to, if you could give them my information and they can reach out to me, I'm happy to help. Or you can share this video or share this information with the client. Number one, I know that you've been affected emotionally. I know that you've been affected physically. And I know that right now, the last person you probably want to hear from is an esthetician. And I was completely heartbroken when I saw what happened to you. I have seen this happen in the past. I've seen this happen with IPL lasers on clients of color as well. And I can tell you, and even for estheticians listening, that IPL lasers and diode lasers, definitely not the safest lasers to use on clients of color. The safest laser to use is a YAD 1064 ND laser. And unfortunately, in this case, the wrong type of laser was used. And the first thing you have to do is keep this area moist. You can do that with Aquaphor. I'm not sure what you've been instructed to use so far, but definitely keep the area moisturized, because it is going to scab and the scabs are going to start peeling, which I've seen in some of the photos, including this one. So I do know that once all the scabbing has taken place, that you will be left with some hypopigmentation. And one way you can start addressing that hypopigmentation is to ask your physician to write a prescription for Protopic. Protopic can help or aid in helping the melanin produce in that area again, especially because this is very acute. It has just happened. And if you decide not to go that route, some of the melanin can come back over time, but it'll take a very slow process. So that is why I'm recommending this prescription to just help expedite or expedite that process. And understand that you're in the very beginning stages of healing. So correcting it is not a good idea right now. Unfortunately, this could take 2 to 3 months to fully heal. And then you will really know what scars are left behind. And in that moment is when you can discuss or think about how you want to go about treating it cosmetically. But one thing I definitely want you to walk away with is that please don't try to address this condition in all of the different stages of healing. You have got to wait until the very end of the healing process. But the one thing you can bring in, like I said, once you're done scabbing, one of the things you would want to do, and I know that one of the number one things you want to address is the hypopigmentation, or on the places on your skin where there is absolutely no color. So, you know, and that's going to stand out the most. Now, another thing that can happen even after the hypopigmentation is improved is hyperpigmentation can come into play, and that's a dark mark everywhere where the laser was administered to. So again, that cosmetically can be corrected. It could take several months, maybe even 9 to 10 months. If it were me, I probably would bring in another modality, but not laser, and some lightening agents to help rid you of that. It's too early to know if the hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation will be permanent only because we don't know how deep the burn is. Okay. And again, I do have protocols to treat the hyperpigmentation as well as the hypo that I can give to you, or you can give to someone that you trust. But at this point in time, I know that you're in the healing process, and I really don't want you to try to do something to interfere with that, because it could actually make the situation a lot worse. Now, any questions with that, please reach out to me. Someone you know, reach out to me so I can better help. I would love to help you in this situation. Now I want to speak to the esthetician. And I know a lot of people are coming down hard on the esthetician. I don't know her. I don't know her background. I don't know the education that she has. But what I will tell you before we come completely down on the SD, I just want to make it clear that a lot of laser companies go into businesses saying that that their laser can and will treat all Fitzpatricks, all client types, including clients of color. And I'm here to tell you that that is just not true. And this is what can potentially happen. Now, when I say it's not true, what I'm saying is this: a diode laser can treat a client of color. It may have certain settings. It may be how you have to use it, but the risk is still too high to do it. In other words, you can use it, but understand the risk that's involved, okay? And if not properly trained, the risk that's involved. Now, with the YAG lasers, which I talked about earlier, which is the safest, most effective laser, I have not ever seen something like this happen with a YAG laser. That laser is designed for melanin-rich skin. It is the safest. Now, for those of you that aren't estheticians, I know you may not know what I'm talking about, but I will tell you this: if you're walking into these medical spas, if you're walking into these spas, wherever that you're going, and they're talking about doing any type of laser treatments on you, it has to be a YAG laser for you to have the most safe outcome, and you'll actually get better results. Now, for estheticians listening, I know people come into your space and tell you different. But I want you to know that this is why I am so passionate about everything that I teach. This is why I have all of this education. I currently have a book on lasers and chemical peels. I have an online course around it. I'm on tour now teaching it, because I don't want this to happen to anyone else. I don't want this to happen to an esthetician or to a client. I am quite sure the esthetician feels bad as well. But I don't know if she wasn't properly trained. I don't know what this company told her. I have had physicians in the past contact me and say that they have a diode laser that they were sold and told they can treat clients of color, and they burned every last one of them. So all estheticians, listen up. Number one, even if you're not performing lasers, even if you're not, you should be educating your clients on the proper lasers that they should be using. And if you are using one, it should be a YAG if you're treating clients of color. And I'm telling you that it's these situations that I'm really working hard to try to prevent happening, because this is another reason why they are trying to take services away from esties. They are lobbying against you doing more invasive treatments because of incidents like this. I don't want to take away what has happened to this client, but I also want estheticians to pay very close attention of how important it is for you to have the best information revolving around skin of color. I know you're not getting it in school. I know it's something you have to seek out afterward. But that is why this is my mission. This picture is my mission. This is the mission. This is her face. No one sees anything more than your face. She has to be traumatized by this. This is someone who just merely wanted an improvement in her skin, and his became so much more, and it's going to affect her life in so many ways. We can prevent this, and that is why this picture, this client, and that is why it is my mission that every esthetician on the planet know how to treat skin of color effectively, how to treat it confidently, and most of all, safely.